Are you looking best places to live in Connecticut? Connecticut is one of the most charming of all the American states. With a rustic mix of coastal towns and rural havens, there is a lot to love about this area of New England. Unlike many U.S. states, Connecticut has access to the coast, calling all surfers, sand lovers and beach bums. Being on the Atlantic coast, the weather can be harsh at times, but when the sun shines over Connecticut it is glorious. From New Haven to Mystic there is always something to discover in Connecticut. Mystic, for example, is famous for its Seaport Museum, which houses ancient sailing ships, and the Mystic Aquarium too, that houses the Beluga Whales. So, does Connecticut sound appealing? Regardless of whether you end up in this part of the world, there are certain baseline requirements that your new homestead must meet. From access to good public schools for those with young children and easy access to commuter routes for those who have to travel to work, there is an awful lot to think about. Not wanting to make anyone overwhelmed, we have created this list of 15 best places to live in Connecticut to give you an idea of what options you have in this great American state. Number 8. Ridgefield. Home to 25,137, the town of Ridgefield can be found in Fairfield County. Although there is a suburban, town-like feel to Ridgefield, there is a rural feel to it too. Almost all homes are detached and dotted around the town rather sparsely. Many of the homes on the market at any given time have large gardens, even ground that would make you think you were living in a more countryside environment. The best of both worlds, some may argue. Connecticut is, in fact, one of the safest states in the USA, which is a wonderful reassurance for any potential newcomer to know that wherever you choose to lay your cap, that crime and nastiness will be far away. Number 7. Glastonbury. Glastonbury is another suburb of Hartford and another suburb on our list to be a real all-rounder. The western border of Glastonbury flows with the meander of the Connecticut River. This area was founded in 1693, but the first set of settlers arrived in 1636 according to the history books. Houses here in Glastonbury are of the classic New England style, and much like in Avon and Weatogue, you get good value for money too. Parents who want their children to attend outstanding public schools would see themselves right to relocate here. It is one of the larger schooling districts in Connecticut, and with 46 outstanding schools to choose from, you can't go too far wrong. Number 6. Avon. Avon is considered to be one of the best places in Connecticut to buy a home. Being on par with Weatogue, you can understand why. Although average house prices fall at $376,500, you really need to have $400,000 available before you start looking at potential homes here. With median rent at $1,234 on average per month, you can see why only 14% of the 18,000 residents of Avon live in rented accommodation. You do get outstanding value for money here in Avon. For $479,000 you can invest in a rather stately, double-story 4-bedroom home with 3 bathrooms, expansive garden and winding private driveway. Crime rates across Connecticut are incredibly low, and Avon is no exception. Crime seldom occurs and is rarely of major significance. Number 5. Weston. Weston is another of our best places to live in Connecticut that is considered to be a suburb of New York City, making it an ideal commuter town. Home to 10,373 people, many who live here do commute into the city for work each day. That said, there are ample job opportunities in the immediate vicinity too, according to locals. Crime occurs here in Weston once in a blue moon. The area is one of the safest suburbs in Connecticut. The groups of residents here are diverse and high earners too. The average family has an income of $217,171 each year. Despite this, house prices, on average, are still below the $1 million mark, for now. Number 4. Weatogue. As a tiny suburb of Hartford and home to only 3,000 people, the neighborhood of Weatogue has a village-like feel. House prices here are far more affordable, meaning Weatogue is an accessible rather than aspirational area to live. House prices here are averaging at $324,600, much more within the reach of the average working American. With that in mind, it will come as a very little surprise to hear that Weatogue is considered to be the best place in Connecticut to buy a house. Crime in the area is very low, perhaps due to the small population or the neighborly attitude that they adopt. Families, retirees, and millennials are all welcomed here with open arms. Number 3. Old Greenwich. This area of New England and Connecticut too calls for a hefty investment should you be seeking to buy property. There is no beating around the bush, Old Greenwich is an affluent area, and the average household brings to their $1,400,900 home around $207,000 a year. If you are seeking a place to raise your family in a safe, clean and frankly upper-class neighborhood, then Old Greenwich is the place for you. Local people describe the area as peaceful and quiet, perfectly close to the beach too. For those who are looking to rent a flash pad, then Old Greenwich is the suburb to which you should head. Although median monthly rent is $2,477, this is well worth it for an ultra-modern condo overlooking the coast. Number 2. New Canaan. New Canaan is a strong contender for being the first best place to live in Connecticut. Despite being firmly within Connecticut state lines, New Canaan is classed as a suburb of New York City. The reason New Canaan does not roll in the first place is the 7-figure price tag that comes with nearly every home. The average house in New Canaan calls for an investment of $1,332,000. That said, there are humble, cozier homes that require a little TLC coming in under the $800,000 mark. Undoubtedly though, this is an exclusive area. The schools are all outstanding and incomes of those who live here mean that everyone lives very comfortably indeed. Number 1. Simsbury. Simsbury is a suburb of the Connecticut state capital of Hartford. It is not uncommon to find a suburb of the state capital coming in at first place. Home to 23,844 people, there is certainly still a city feels out in suburban Simsbury. The home value here is pretty steep compared with other areas of the country, but very much sets the tone for the rest of Connecticut. The average house in Simsbury calls for an investment of $328,600. There are some classic New England style homes in this area, so be sure to shop around to find the perfect abode for you, especially given the hefty investment. With the average household bringing home over $100,000 a year, the dearer than average house prices and cost of living are no cause for concern for the present set of residents.